Everyone, my name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus house system. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about Jupiter ingressing in Leo. And it will happen from June 30th of 2026 through July 26th of 2027. Now, Jupiter is going to retrograde in Leo from December 13th, 27 degrees, and it will turn direct on April 13th, 2027 at 16 degrees. So for those of you that have planets 27 degrees in the sign of Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio, plus or minus 3 degrees, then Jupiter, a square from Jupiter is not a bad thing. Um, but if you have planets specifically in Leo and Aquarius, like I said, either at 27 degrees plus or minus or 16 degrees plus or minus, this is going to bring you extra goodies because that means that Jupiter is going to station on those degrees. So for the December stationing at 27 degrees, Jupiter is going to station from December 10th to the 16th at 27 degrees. And in April, it will station at 16 degrees from April 12th through the 16th. All right. So think back, the last time Jupiter transited Leo was from July 16th, 2014 until August 11th of 2015. So think back to that period. What themes in your life came up? Leo is a fire sign. So Aries and Sag are the other fire signs, and they will benefit the most because there will be a trine when Jupiter ingresses into Leo. And then the other signs that will also benefit are going to be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius because those are the air signs. Now, according to the degree theory, the country that is ruled by Leo is France. So we may see a lot of news coming out in France because they're offering opportunities that pop up, right? Now, Leo is one of the three leaders in the zodiac. Again, this is based on the degree theory, right? The other two are Aries and Capricorn. So Leo thinks big. It wants to be the center of attention. It can be dramatic, especially if they don't get what they want. Okay. And also remember that Jupiter brings opportunities, but you need to act on them. Leos typically are confident, they're generous, they're creative, they find new ways to enjoy themselves. With a fire sign in Jupiter, we identify strongly with our opinions. Jupiter is our opinions, our beliefs, our perceptions. And if people disagree with us, okay, we may take it personally. So just keep that in mind. If you're, you know, speaking your mind and somebody doesn't agree with you or whatever, don't take it personally. Leo thinks big and they make their own opportunities by taking calculated risks, being confident, brave, and outgoing. Leo likes luxury items. So this year, maybe you would want to splurge on a vacation of a lifetime or or a really expensive car, jewelry. Maybe you have a wedding reception that is the talk of the town, right? Because it's so glamorous and so over the top. Areas of concentration is fifth house related, right? Creative ideas, entertainment, children, the inner child in all of us, right? What makes you happy? Recreation, going on vacation, Now, Jupiter rules learning. So we may decide to take courses in those areas, like a course in leadership or how to raise a child or creative writing. Um, we will strongly emphasize the value of expressing our affection, our admiration, generosity, romance. Romance is going to be big. Um, the uniqueness of being generous. Avoid though, like Leo, like everything has a negative side, right? The ego. The ego can be bruised or hurt very easily. So, you know, again, be mindful. Eh, we might begin to see opportunities to play, our inner child, something that makes us happy, to enjoy our lives, to have fun, go on vacation. People who have given up on finding love, pursuing a dream, or developing a talent may take the chance now. In the love department, this is especially true for Aries, for Leo, and Aquarius. Stay tuned for the Ascendant by Ascendant. Now, in career or business, Leo likes to play the role, right? Because it rules theater, drama. So you need to be proud, be confident, honest in your professional dealings. Don't be petty, and always choose the high road, right? Like for example, in your business, you might want to be offering special sales, making customers feel special. Like all the attention goes to the customer, eh, making them feel unique, maybe even giving them free information to help them to try to uh, stand above the rest of their competitors, right? Now, if you have your own business, don't trash the competition, right? Compete only by being the best you can be, right? Like in career, invest in your personality, in your uniqueness. Tell your customer how good your customer service is. Dare to be confident. It's a great time for standing out, but in a classy way, right? And of course, you need to dress to impress, to be able to give those customers, for them to see you like, hey, you are the best of the best, but not by trashing your competitors, right? You can say, listen, we've been in business for X number of years. Our Google reviews are whatever, they're outstanding. We have 5 out of 5 stars. That type of talk. Just don't say, oh, this competitor, no, they're scumbags. They're this one. No, that won't work. Only emphasize the positive things that you do for your customer, for your clientele. Now, for greater success in love and relationships, while Jupiter is transiting Leo, be attentive, be romantic, be loving, and proud of your partner, your husband, your wife, your spouse. Um, but at the same time, be careful because Leo can be possessive, right? Set the jealousy aside. Give your partner, your spouse, the freedom to do what they want to do, to go where they want to go. Um, and just, be positive, but not possessive. You might want to take courses that teach leadership, uh, performance arts, design, drama, creative writing, anything anything hobby related. If you have a hobby and you like to cook like really expensive meals, like or very classy meals or setting the table, etc., you can take a course on etiquette, eh, doing all the proper things, right? For those of us that have children, this is a great time to connect and repair relationships with them. Um, Because, sometimes kids, especially like the older ones, right? Like your young adults, they want to be on their own and maybe they've kind of separated a bit from the home. Well, give them a call, try to connect and listen to what they have to say. Also, you can connect with your creative peers, romantic interests, especially or partners when that Jupiter in Leo goes retrograde, maybe, somebody from your past shows up. But in the love department, be affectionate, be caring, um, and not necessarily, throwing money away. I mean, throwing money at them because like parents have a habit, oh, you have a problem, don't worry. Well, how much is it gonna how much is it gonna take to fix it? Right? So and we just help them out financially, but sometimes your kids need to be listened to, it's not just money. Spend time, tell them how much you love them. And this goes for your children and of course for your romantic partners. Okay, so let's talk about finance. The sun rules gold, which is also the ruler of Leo, and Jupiter is going to be in Leo. Therefore, Jupiter expands everything it touches, so gold should do well. But the lunar nodes are also going to be moving into Aquarius and Leo. So we need to be careful. The lunar nodes, the north node is going to be in Aquarius and the south node is going to be in Leo. And it will happen July 26th of 2026 through March 26th of 2028. So remember that the nodes travel backwards. So they start at 29 degrees of Leo and then they go 28, 27, etc. When we have the eclipses, I would expect the price of gold to go down because the South Node is going to be in Leo, to lose, to decrease. There can be also a huge company, a very proud company, a leader in its field that goes bankrupt or something happens, right? Because the South Node is to lose. So maybe there's talk of financial fraud or the company goes bankrupt. I don't know the name of the company because I don't, I'm just telling you based on the notes, right? That's what I anticipate. I'm just saying that things can happen in the financial arena. And it would be a company that's a leader, Leo in its field. In world events, well, the leaders of the countries might be boasting, I have more guns than you do, I have more missiles than you do, I have more ships than you do, I have greater power than you do, that type of thing. So, because remember that Leo presidents, leaders, your CEOs of companies. Also, with the South Node in Leo, there may be a leader that dies, a president that dies. Again, to lose a leader. I don't know who this person is. I don't know who the president, like if it's a president or a prime minister or anything like that. Also, royalty. Leo rules royalty, so there might be a loss in the royal family or families, because maybe there's more royalty than just England, right? Um, for those of you with Leo placements like the Ascendant, Descendant, the IC, and the MC, you're going to have support from Saturn in Aries because Saturn is going to be trining that Jupiter in Leo. And the dates of this trine, I would say, are from August 2026, starting at that 7 degrees through October 3rd, 2026 at 19 degrees. So anybody with 7 to 19 degrees, and that's a wide trine, but you guys are going to be favored, right, for 2026. Um, with the 13th degree favored the most because the exact conjunction is going to happen from August 29th through September 2nd for people having 13 degrees in either Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio. Because, we got to look at the opposition and we got to look at the squares as well. All right, so let's start with the ascendant, right? But let me say this, Jupiter is the great benefic. He brings opportunities, optimism, expansion. We all wait for this, but I find that Saturn is better. Let's say with a trine from Saturn, things last, not so much with Jupiter. And with Jupiter, you need to act on the opportunity it brings you. Okay. It doesn't fall from the sky. All right. So Jupiter in Leo. Here we go. For Aries. For Aries, this can be a very, very good transit for you. It can bring love for you singles out there, right? So try to look your best because Leo is, has the finer things, right? Like the classy clothes, the nice perfume or colognes, try to always look your best. Wear the makeup, wear, your hairstyle in a certain way. Go out and have fun. Go to the theater. Go on vacation. These are places that Leo rules, right? The fifth house. So so why is this so special? Because the lunar nodes are also going to be there starting in July, towards the end of July. So this means that a fated meeting, a fated person can come into your life, and it would be a past life connection. So remember that the South Node is going to be in Leo. So that's why I'm saying that it's a past. Want to say that even though it might be a past life connection or somebody from your past, remember that um, this fated meeting, but there should not be any abuse, no drama. We don't have time for relationships like that, right? So again, be mindful of this person coming in, but hopefully it will be very, very good for you guys. Now, with children, this is an amazing time to try if you want to have a baby, right? Because Jupiter adds fertility to the fifth house, and especially if you're wanting to have your first child. So, if you don't want to get pregnant, be very, very, very careful and protect yourself. Um, Creativity will be phenomenal, so put it to good use, right? Also, go out and have fun, go out on vacation, socialize, do age-appropriate sports. Um, it can also be a good time or a blessed time for your firstborn child if you already have children, or for your children in general, but especially fifth house rules firstborn. Okay, for Taurus. For Taurus, this Jupiter is in your fourth house. There can be something very positive for your parents, maybe a promotion, a gain from the sale of the family home. It can also be a great time for an opportunity for you to buy your own property or to remodel or redecorate. You can buy or rent a bigger place, right? It will probably have big rooms and big windows. Jupiter. And Leo likes the light, right? Very lit places. And you're gonna enjoy spending time at home, home cooking, being more domestic, right? And also, there can be a gain through women in your life. So, a woman is going to be very important. They can bring opportunity. All right, so for Gemini, Jupiter is going to be in your third house, right? So, talking about the expansion of ideas, You may want to take some short courses and learn about creative writing, about drama, performing arts, a foreign language, Jupiter, something foreign. Opportunities for short trips can come as well. So, I would suggest that you do that. You will also become more confident and more upbeat. There can be opportunities that present themselves for your siblings. Some kind of gain, right? Because third house also rules siblings. So if you're not speaking with them or there has been some kind of break in your relationship, this is a good year to try to mend the situation. If you are a writer, a webmaster, you want to learn a foreign language, again, Jupiter can enhance all of these areas, right? So take advantage of it. Now, Cancer. For Cancer rising, Jupiter will be in your second house. So this is amazing. So you are okay, you were the celestial favorite last year, right? For a year. Now Jupiter goes to your second house. It can bring opportunities to make more money, but be careful with spending too much because you remember second house also rules the spending. Oh, hold on, guys. Sorry, my neighbor is having their lawn done and it, it was interfering. So as I was saying for Cancer, with Jupiter in the second house, it can bring opportunities to make more money, but be careful with spending too much as well because you can become overly optimistic about making money and end up spending it before you make it. So listen well. From July 1st or July 9th, Venus will be transiting your second house while Jupiter just ingressed. So Venus will be transiting from 20 to 29 degrees of Leo. If I were you, I would play a lottery ticket during that time, right? From the 1st to the 9th of July. On another note, Jupiter in the second can increase the amount of food that you eat because second house is also what we eat. So be mindful because you already gained weight with Jupiter in your sun, right? We don't want to add in even more weight. Now, for Leo, you will be the celestial favorite for the next 13 months. So this should bring you optimism. Jupiter decided to fall. A energy, confidence, magnetism. Jupiter can expand your opportunities, but it can also expand your waistline. Remember to dress as a remedy. You can dress in blue or get a pendant with a horse because Jupiter is in your opposite your seventh house, right? There may be love opportunities or business opportunities as well. So look your best. Like I need to tell you that because you're a Leo, right? But and Leos are very self-conscious about the way they look. Make this year count. Displacement will square your 10th. It's going to square your 10th and your fourth house. But so opportunities may be present there in those houses as well. The only thing, it comes with a small challenge. So all the best to you, Leo. All right. So for Virgo rising. For Virgo rising, Jupiter is in your, or will be in your 12th house. So 12th house, it's a period that you can deal with old psychological wounds and just resolve them by getting a good therapist. Jupiter in the 12th says that angels are protecting you, or you have divine protection. If your natal Neptune is making positive aspects to your Jupiter, you could realize a dream because Neptune rules dreams. Something that you've held really close to your heart for a very long time. Also, with Jupiter in the 12th, You can take up meditation, yoga, or you can travel to a really far away country from where you live. All right. For here, for the United States, let's say ninth house is Europe. 12th house would be China, Asia, um, Australia, New Zealand, those countries. For Libra rising. For Libra, Jupiter goes into your 11th house. So this is all about being social, which is very good for Libras because Libras are very social creatures. It will bring new friends, new social and professional groups. One of those friends may be very influential or wealthy person. Careful what you wish for because it just may happen, right? So if in your natal chart, if Jupiter is making positive aspects to your natal Uranus, you can have a wonderful surprise happen, or you can recover something that you lost. Especially when Mercury goes retrograde, it's an excellent period for you to combine both, right? So there's a really good chance to find something if you happen to have lost something. All right, so for Scorpio, Jupiter will be in your 10th house. Your reputation um, is enhanced. It's, people see you in a very good light. Your boss and people at work may speak very kindly of you. You may get um, an excellent review at work. It's a great time to get married because remember the 10th house is also the way society sees you. And you could also have a baby with Jupiter in the 10th because, again, this is change in status of, let's say you were married and now, um, you're pregnant and you're going to have a baby, or your wife is pregnant and you guys are going to have a baby, so you're going to become a parent. And obviously, with Jupiter in the 10th, there are great career opportunities that can come up, so make sure that you take advantage of them, especially if this Jupiter in Leo aspects Saturn in your natal chart with a trine or a sextile. You can also get promoted at work, but of course, you need to apply for the position, right? Because Jupiter brings opportunities, so you need to take advantage of them. Saturn, Saturn, no, Sagittarius. Hi, Jesus, I dropped it. Sorry, there we go. So, Sag, Jupiter, your ruler, is in Leo. So for you, it's in the ninth house. And this is also a very positive transit because Jupiter is the natural ruler of the ninth house. So if there is a legal case, most likely it will be decided in your favor. Unless your natal chart, is very, negative, then things will change. But otherwise, you have a good chance of winning your legal case. Opportunities can come up for long distance travel or getting into the university that you've always wanted to. And for those of you that maybe dropped out of school, then you might consider, dropped out of college or the university, you might consider going back to school and finishing your degree. Maybe you can take excuse me, a workshop on spirituality, philosophy, because the ninth house is all about your beliefs. So maybe you guys might want to consider that. For Capricorn, for Capricorn rising, this Jupiter is in your eighth house. So this is music to your ears. Eighth house is about investments, savings, your partner's money. It's about inheritances. It's about intimacy as well. So what can be better, right? Um, if this Jupiter is making natal aspects to your Pluto, play a lottery ticket because it can mean big money. And also, yeah, That's about, with Jupiter in the eighth, you can also get a loan to buy a property, right? To careful with debts increasing, right? But if it's to buy a house or to buy an investment property or something like that, then it might be worthwhile. Or it's easy to get for you. For Aquarius, Aquarius rising, Jupiter is in your seventh house, finally, right? So this is a very important transit. Finally, there's a chance for you guys to meet a potential long-term partner, or you might get a marriage proposal. If you guys have been, if you have somebody that you've been dating, then, the proposal might come and you get married. However, and even, even if you're married, then the marriage can get better, right? There is a caveat to this. If the marriage is not doing well, then Jupiter will release you from the marriage so you can get a divorce. I know that sounds really weird, right? But Jupiter wants you to be happy. If you own your own business, you can see an increase in customers as well. So just be careful not to expand your business too quickly because you can be like overly optimistic, right? All right, Pisces. Pisces, Jupiter will enter your sixth house. So this can be a very positive time at work. Your working environment, your coworkers, the relationship that you have with your coworkers may improve or just be good. It's also a very productive time at work. Health-wise, it can be good if you don't overindulge in food, right? Because, you can eat healthy and exercise in moderation. And of course, always consult with your doctor, your dietitian, your PCP, right? Sixth house is also pets. So you can get an additional buddy, right? You may decide to get another pet, or might, or one might just show up, right? Now, there's something I need to say with people that have serious health conditions. Jupiter can either help you to cure yourself or it can expand the issue. For example, if you have a tumor, you need to watch it carefully because Jupiter can make it grow. So hopefully it's the first scenario, right? That you guys do really, really well health-wise because you're following your doctor's orders and you guys get a full recovery and you're good to go. So anyway, I hope that you have found this video helpful and that you look forward to having Jupiter in your sign. Again, Jupiter brings opportunities that you need to take advantage of. So put it to good use. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and send it to someone else that it may interest. As always, if you would like a chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.